Merry Icetide freelancers, and welcome to another episode of Community Cortex. This is for week 3 of Icetide, and let's go ahead and just dive right in. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but well, actually, so are the outlaws, and the beasts, and the Shaper ruins. Really, just the general sense of danger every time you go beyond the walls. Jack likes the feeling, though, and he's an odd one. The hardest thing to do is move on, and you know what that's like, of course, freelancer. You were in the heart of rage, yet it's easy to forget what kind of world Bastion is this time of year. Everything that we've been through, all the struggles and the hardships and the losses, the stumbles, all of it melts away into twinkling lights and warm smiles that people share inside the fort. Maybe that's for the best though, right? It's hard for some people to get back up into the keep moving forward, but that's what we do. That's what you do. While the season of the skulls is a time of year to remember the fallen, Icetide is a bit different. It's a celebration of how far we've come. It wasn't easy, but we did it together. We celebrate that. We celebrate you and your triumphs, and we want to enjoy the company of those that you care about because you are there for us when all hope was lost. So thank you, no matter where you're spending your holidays this year, be it in Bastion, during the Icetide, or somewhere a little closer to home. Thank you for all you've done, freelancer. That said, have you ever had the most wonderful, relaxing winter holiday? Crackling fire in the hearth, a cozy blanket while it snows outside, a mug of hot chocolate in hand, a pair of warm socks to dress your feet. Now imagine the opposite of that, and that's what Faye tends to get. Hard, cold, interior of a strider, constant noise and jostling, and Halleck. Oh, Halleck. Though she may be a tad bit of a Grinch during the holidays, the first Icetide lore story, Songs of Icetide, show how someone, quote-unquote, enjoys the holiday season in Bastion while out in the jungles against their will, as best they can, at least. So for week 3, we have Temple of the Scar, and this is going to be our weekly stronghold with 2 challenges that are going to go along with it. Deep Freeze, which is a daily challenge, and Frostbite, which is going to be your weekly challenge of this week, week 3. As far as your inversions, you've got Broken Magazine. This is where your weapons are going to have no spare ammo, but enemies will drop ammo more often. And then you have Running on Empty. Firing the last shot of a weapons clip increases all damage for a short time. It's kind of funny that they pair these two together because you're going to auto reload any of your magazines with an ammo drop. So you're not actually going to be doing any reloading. So you're just going to keep firing. It ends up really kind of changing the way you play, and it's a lot of fun. I'm glad to see these 2 inversions this week. So let's go ahead and dive into our challenges. So like we said, as a part of a daily challenge, Frost Warning, this is pretty simple and easy to clear. What you're just going to be looking for here is completing any one expedition. Nice little easy daily challenge. In this case, it's going to give you that Guardian token and the Minor Crystals, so keep that on lockdown. Very simple. Pay attention to that anytime you get it. Obviously, an elite is just killing elite enemies and going from there. And then from a weekly challenge perspective, you've got Strongholds. This shouldn't be any kind of shocker in that regards. Weekly Cold Completion. This is a 5 expeditions, exploring nodes completed, objectives completed of 10, and then again another Guardian token and 4,000 Minor Crystals. Don't forget your weekly factions with Scars, Outlaws, and more. It looks like I've got them twice, so I don't know if that is a bug, but I'll take it if I can clear them both at the same time. Weekly Contracts is going to be set at 5 this week. Then you have that Frostbite limited time. This is going to be 3 expeditions in which that you want to have it under 20 minutes and a score of 3.5 million or better in order for that to classify on your completion. Weekly Harvester, this should be pretty simple to do. You've got some silver time trials to complete and harvesting events completed as well. 8 of each. Legendary contracts, in this case you want to do 5 of those. You get 2 a day. So as long as you log in 3 times this week, you should be able to knock out that 10 Masterwork Ember and 2,000 coin appropriately. And then as everything goes on, making monthly progress each and every time you complete those challenges as well. Season of Icetide also comes with its own challenges, so keep that in mind that as you play, you're knocking things out over the entire season regarding that, and endurance challenges. So those have not changed since the start of it. Okay, so now let's take a look at our featured store. We've got the wrap Arctic Berserker. We've got the wrap Chilled Forest. You have the decal Battled Resilience. You have the epic Kauai, which is a moat. It looks fantastic. That's usually what I spend all my coins on, just FYI. Then you have the graphic Frosted Thread, and you have the metal radioactive metal there as well. Seasonal store update is pretty simple, straightforward. War Chest Legendary Component, War Chest Legendary Weapon, just legendary Fragmentor armor pack. That looks really cool. Then you've got the War Chest Legendary Storm, Legendary Ranger, Legendary Interceptor, Legendary Colossus, and the Graphic Emerald Hulk. So you can see here that you got pretty much a lot of the legendaries are all 5,000. The armor pack is 4,000, and the graphical package here is just 1,500. Pretty simple and easy to do as long as you're knocking out those challenges. The game is going to feed you a bunch of these crystals, and again, they do expire at the end of the season, so keep that in mind. Also, make sure that you're attacking those Guardian green Lego tokens. Those are going to be really great for turning them into the temple in free play, so you can get those guaranteed legendaries as well. Honestly, I would have to say that out of all of this, I really do appreciate the legendary grind now in a way, because it does give a little bit of a guarantee, a way that I can go and attack these things and be able to pull up legendaries for my freelancer, which ends up feeling pretty good. So that's the news, and I think I just want to take a little bit of this time just to kind of tell you just how I'm enjoying Icetide. One of the things I've run into a couple times is a couple of bugs in which that I didn't really get the crystals that I was promised, but then they ended up showing up later, which kind of ends up balancing itself out, but not seeing that immediate reward has been a little bit frustrating. But beyond that, I really enjoyed the fact that Icetide has brought me back to this game in a way that I'm playing it week over week, and I'm farming up coin more than actually the crystals. Obviously the crystals are nice when it comes to being able to get a little bit more of that legendary the spots, which is going to allow me to get higher scores, which is going to start allowing me to be a little bit more competitive on the leaderboard itself. But it got me thinking that it's like, yeah, this is really good, because at least I'm getting coin, coin is the thing that I appreciate the most out of the game, because I don't feel that Anthem has earned my money in that regard. So coin is the way that I can go and buy these emotes and buy different gear just to kind of get this look and feel that I want for my characters, or at least my javelins in this case, and that's good because it means that I'm having fun. Ideally, when we talk about Anthem 2.0, Anthem Next, there's a long list of things that I think everybody wants. I mean, we've still been wanting a stat screen, we're still wanting more. And this week over at Work to Game, which is one of my main channels, there was this part in which that the Square Enix community banned a streamer because he was harassing another player over a DPS meter. Like, he was not doing good DPS at all. And I know that's not the stat screen that people want, but then in my mind, like, I don't feel like knowing statistics and having these kind of stats is necessarily bad. I think it is bad when we apply it to other players. But in this case, like, I am a curious person. When we're doing build tests, when we're running data, having an in-game, having that way for me, especially with the seasonal kind of concept that Icetide is, I would really be very curious to see how much damage that I am doing. I don't actually really personally care, especially in a random group, what other people are doing, because essentially I think that only leads to tension, that can only lead to frustration, and I don't think Anthem needs that at all right now. But for myself personally, when it comes down to the stats, like, when I'm doing my builds, how am I doing? How am I performing? How am I ranking myself against myself? I think that's kind of the real pivotal key here. How am I doing compared to myself? That would be ultimately what I want to see with the game and more. And that has me excited, because I think when we look at what they showed us back at E3 and what the game is today, I'm really excited to see so many people coming in and actually enjoying the game. There is a really good core element of fun to be had. And hopefully with 2.0, they really kind of get their vision of what this game can be and really make it something amazing to see. I think the thing with the Strongholds, with the puzzles, with the weekly challenge, a lot of that is actually a lot of fun. I look forward to every week having this knocked out so I can go in and play some more and continue to farm the Strongholds, which personally I feel are some of the best content that it has, and hopefully we can see them blend that into the overall free play. If the game didn't have didn't have so many stops and breaks, I think a lot more people would enjoy it. If you're just out and about in the world and you happen upon that stronghold, or you can teleport to that stronghold when you have your party together. If the free play map was the social hub of the game, and more. Who knows? Like, there's a lot that we could do and say that we want to see this game. And so kind of the question this week to you guys is, what do you want to see from Anthem as we move towards this theoretical 2.0? We don't know what their plan is. Hopefully they know what their plan is, because that's actually the real critical thing. And for some reason, if you're watching this video in a way of trying to decide if you want to get this game, I would say if it's on sale and you have free time, it might be worth checking out. But see if there's a free trial or a free way to play. I think that with EA Access, that the game is a part of that program, so it can end up being something that you can kind of try for very cheap, see if it's something worth it for you in that regards. But I leave the question up to you, because despite the fact that I have a laundry list of things that I want, this week, yeah, I was just playing around and I was like, man, it'd be really cool to know how much damage I'm putting out. It'd be really cool to know how much damage I'm avoiding, or, just these little things. And it just seems silly, I guess, at this point as that request, because there are a lot of other things that I want, but that's just going to be where it's at. Anyway, for Ginger Prime and the Soul Nation, thanks for watching this video. If you're new here, I hope you hit that subscribe button. Hope you hit that like button. Come back for more videos. We've got a lot of stuff on the channel, and we got a lot of plans for 2020. So hopefully you come on this adventure with us. And then, yeah, there is a part of this week that's Songs of Icetide. So take a look, check out the channel for that. We'll be trying to post some lore videos here as well, and more. So anyway, guys, Merry Icetide, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of y'all, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.